So, you want to move to Thailand? Well, I don't blame you. I made the move to Thailand over 10 years ago and it's been by far the best decision I ever made. Thailand is a beautiful country. It's incredibly safe, very beautiful, and there's so much to explore. And I think it's the perfect place to call home, and I'm very privileged to do so. But moving to Thailand isn't just a simple decision. Shall I go or shall I not? There are many things to consider, and hopefully this video will just make things a lot more easier to understand. What can work completely well for someone can be the complete wrong decision for someone else. Depending on your income, your age, and why you want to move to Thailand are important factors that we're going to touch on. I'm not trying to sell you the dream of moving to Thailand. I'm sure it's a seed planted in your brain already. So let's just talk about what actually happens when you move to Thailand, the real costs, and where different types of people will thrive best within the country. The best way to do this is to break it down into clear categories and types of people that want to move to Thailand. And then as we go, you can decide, okay, this is probably best for me, and you can pay more attention in that particular section of the video. If you're serious about moving to Thailand and you want a realistic framework, not just hype, hopefully this video will save you a lot of time, money, and stress. So the first type of person who moves to Thailand is the baller, someone who doesn't really have too much to worry about in terms of financial restraints. I'll just quickly go over this because this will probably be a small percentage of you. This is someone with a high net value. You probably have a lot of assets, passive income, investments, or you've got lots of businesses back home. This person obviously will want zero visa stresses and they'll want to get settled in the best place possible, and they're probably looking to buy a property so they don't have to rent. This will be someone who optimizes everything in terms of simplicity and comfort, not cost. So let's just quickly talk about what visa you should get and how much you should expect to set yourself up here in Thailand. Well, the first thing is you definitely want to get the elite visa in the Thailand privilege system and get the 20-year visa. For 20 years, you won't have to worry about anything to do with your visa. It's expensive, but you're buying peace of mind. There's no renewals, there's no border crossings. You just need to do a 90-day report as usual at the immigration in Bangkok. By the way, whenever I talk about visas in this video, you need to understand that visa rules change a lot. Rules and requirements are constantly shifting. You'll definitely have to do your own research on particular visas that I mentioned during this video, because this is not legal advice. This is just general information on what types of visas will work best for what types of people. And if you want to buy property, you definitely want to purchase a condo. You can't own an apartment, you can't own land. Just get yourself a condominium in the city center. You're looking at around $500,000, maybe double or triple that price if you're looking for a really luxury condo. If you do purchase a condo, there's legal, there's furnishings, probably another 30,000 on top. You'll probably want to buy a car. You'll definitely want to get insurance. And when it comes to monthly living costs, you're probably looking to be comfortable, happy, and enjoy the finer things in life, especially here in Bangkok. So you're probably looking at $4,000 to $5,000 a month in expenses. You probably want private healthcare, all the best food, a membership at the best gym, no compromises. This person should be looking at central Bangkok, probably in the Phom Prong, Lan Suwan, or Thong Lo area of the city. If this sounds like you, remember the key point. You'll need to make sure that all of your assets at home are still working for you on a monthly basis. This is by far the easiest way to live in Thailand, but because you are buying simplicity and ease, it will be very expensive. So if you are a baller and you're looking for a simple, easy way to move to Thailand, just follow that checklist. You'll get yourself a great visa, buy yourself a condo, and live the good life. But let's move on to the second type of person, and I think the majority of you watching this are probably going to be in this category. We're talking about the remote workers or the digital nomads. This person will get all of their income online, probably from working back home, and moving to Thailand. You want to solidify some roots, and you're not necessarily prioritizing super luxury lifestyle. So there's quite a few visas that you should consider if this is you, but the best one at the moment is the DTV visa. It's valid for 5 years, costs around $300 US. It's a great visa, but there are a few drawbacks. You can't open a Thai bank account, and you have to leave Thailand every 6 months for a few days and come back. You probably won't purchase your own condo. You'll probably just rent, which is absolutely fine. Renting is great because it gives you flexibility. You can go to the north of Thailand, and then, you know, maybe in the smoky season you can leave and head to the islands. Renting gives you a lot more flexibility and it's much more affordable. If you are a digital nomad and you're wondering how much would it realistically cost to move to Thailand, well, with the DTV visa and then, you know, renting a place and paying 3 months up front and just your general startup costs, you're probably looking at a safety net buffer of 10 to 15,000 US dollars. This will include your deposits, your visa, your insurance, and 6 months worth of buffer just in case things go wrong and you need to go home and still have cash with you. You know, you should always think about this. You should give yourself 6 months worth of spending money for when you get here, just to get yourself on your feet. Even if you do have passive income online, it is important to have quite a big buffer, as well as if things go wrong and you need to go home, you don't want to be going home with nothing in your account. Also, when it comes to your income and how much money do you need, I won't generally talk about tax, but this is obviously a huge part and something very customizable to each person and their case individually. Where does your income come from and how much is it? And how long are you planning to stay in Thailand during the year? If you are living in Thailand, even if you're making money abroad, you will have to pay tax in some way. So just make sure that you're getting proper legal advice and research on taxes here in Thailand. I think there are 3 locations that would work best for digital nomads. The first is Bangkok. It is a fantastic city with fast internet and so much to do and see. Rent can be really affordable in places like On Nut, Prakanon, just outside of the main city centre hub. But if you don't like big cities, then you'll probably enjoy the greener, more relaxed city of Chiang Mai. It's much smaller and there's a whole digital nomad scene up there, especially in a place called Nomad. But you could also work in Koh Phangan or in Phuket, tropical paradise. You just have to deal with the monsoon season. Phuket can be quite expensive, so maybe look at Koh Samui or Koh Phangan. When it comes to rent, food, transport, healthcare, you're looking at around 3,000 US dollars per month to live here comfortably in the Kingdom of Thailand. I think to be comfortable living in Bangkok, Chiang Mai or Phuket, you need to be making at least 3,000 US dollars from your income coming from abroad. If you do, this will work extremely well. Just make sure that that income is consistent and repeatable. Most people who are digital nomads enjoy the ability to be very fluid with their location, so you can move around to Thailand. You can also move around Southeast Asia and the rest of the world. And with that, you'll definitely want healthcare that will move with you as you live in Thailand and if you want to travel abroad. And that's where Safety Wing come in. They are a fantastic healthcare provider, especially for digital nomads. I've lived in Thailand for 10 years and I've been traveling constantly, and it's taught me one thing, and that life throws at you lots of surprises. And this is obviously why having travel and health insurance is so important, and I can't recommend Safety Wing enough. Their complete plan is a real health insurance for people living abroad, perfect for people coming to Thailand and who want to travel around this region. Hospitalizations, emergencies, and routine care are all taken care of. It works in Thailand, it works abroad. It's flexible as well, month to month. You can cancel at any time and it's super easy to manage online. Their website, honestly, is fantastic. I'll link it below, just go check it out. Make sure you use the link in the description of this video to get the best deal possible.
You can also scan the QR code on screen to get global medical insurance.
The third type of person thinking about moving to Thailand is someone on a bit more of a lean budget. We'll call you the lean relocator. You just want to have a better life, but maybe you have a lower income and you're relying more heavily on your savings. There's nothing wrong with this, by the way. In fact, this is how I came to Thailand. I came here with 70,000 Thai baht in my bank account and a job offer in a school in Chiang Mai. And so by the time I paid for my accommodation, you know, my rent and a deposit on the apartment, and I rented a motorbike and my food and general living costs, by the time I got my first paycheck, I was almost at 0 baht in my bank account. And then I worked at this school for 3 years and I got myself on my feet and earned myself some good savings and eventually, you know, moved into doing YouTube for a living. But I came here with no passive income and just a little bit of savings, so it can be done. The key here is if you don't have a lot of income, you need to have a low burn rate and you need to have high discipline, something a lot of people struggle with when they move to Thailand because there are so many temptations here and, you know, it can be really cheap, so you might feel like you're on holiday, and holiday mode means you spend your money much more quickly, and you need to be super careful with this. Only the disciplined will survive. When it comes to your savings, you ideally need 6 months of a buffer, okay? So you probably need at least £5,000 or $5,000 in your account. But like I said before, I came here with much less and made it work, but that was because I had a job offer ready for me. Okay, I already had done my interview and I'd been given the role. I just needed to turn up and begin work. If you are coming here to get work, maybe in a school, just remember only certain types of occupations are accepted to foreigners here. You can't just come here and get a job in a factory or something like that, okay? I came here to be a teacher. That's one of the jobs that foreigners are allowed to work. So I then transitioned into a work permit. However, if you are making income online, maybe not that much at the moment, but you want to come to Thailand to reduce your living costs and really lock in and build your online business or build your online income, then come to Thailand and do that. But like I said, make sure you've got that 6-month buffer to make sure you cover yourself if things go wrong. Where should you live in Thailand if this is the type of person for you? I would avoid Bangkok because it is very expensive, even if you do live in sort of the cheaper areas. I think you should look at places like Chiang Mai or maybe Udon Thani, or maybe in the smaller neighborhoods in Chiang Mai, because you still want to be near other expats, other digital nomads for the social aspect, but you don't want to be maybe in the middle of it all where rent is a lot more expensive. If you're not really looking for the luxury lifestyle and you can really be disciplined, then you can survive quite comfortably in Thailand in these areas on around 30 or 40,000 Thai baht per month. That includes your rent, your transport, your food, your visa, and obviously your healthcare with Safety Wing. Just remember, if this is you, you need to come to Thailand with a strategy and a backup plan, okay? This is not a holiday. And make sure to get that insurance, because one big hospital bill and that is the end of your Thailand dream, and you will have to go home and figure things out. There are 2 other types of people that I want to touch on. The first is retired people. Now, my good friend Chris from Retired Working For You did a whole video where he breaks down how much it would cost to retire here in Thailand.
So the minimum amount of money that you need to have saved to retire in Thailand and live here for the rest of your life is 30.6 million Thai baht. Now that's 900,000 US dollars. This has jumped a lot.
Now his figure was eye-watering, okay? I think, Chris, I don't know what you've been smoking, okay, but you definitely don't need nearly $1 million to retire in Thailand. But obviously if you did have that much money, you could just relax and enjoy yourself. But I'm not a big expert on this, so I'll link a couple of the videos he's made because he's of that age and he has helped many people retire in Thailand. And I don't really think I should be talking about a section of people that I have no connection to. So if you are retiring or looking to retire in Thailand, check out Chris's video linked below. Let's talk about families. You guys are very important to me because I know a lot of people who have kids who ask me all the time, how do I move to Thailand and where do you think we should live? And obviously how much is it going to cost us? And for this, it is such a complex question and it completely depends on the family. How many kids do you have? What type of education do you want to give them? And what type of lifestyle do you want to have as a family? You could live in Chiang Mai, get yourself a nice house, and then depending on what school you choose from, your monthly costs for a family of 4, 2 kids at school, mum and dad, rent, insurance, food and drink, transport, you could live anywhere from 3 to 5,000 US dollars a month, all the way to 20 to 30, depending on the type of school you sent them to. I would recommend you at least have 20,000 US dollars in savings to get yourself on your feet and make sure you have passive income, ideally from both parents. I think the main things to remember is moving to Thailand is just such an incredible decision to make, and it will be so stressful making that big leap. But just make sure that you fit within one of these categories. And if you're not quite at one category, just come down a level and adjust your expectations slightly. Thailand is an incredible place to live. You just need to choose wisely when it comes to your lifestyle, your visa options, and how you're going to earn your income whilst you're here. So I hope that video was useful for you and you can identify yourself as one of the people in this video. I would love to go into way more detail maybe for the digital nomads and maybe the families in the future. If you would like more information and a more detailed deep dive into a particular type of person moving into Thailand, then please like the video below. If you do have a question about each of these types of people and moving to Thailand, please let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to get back to as many of you as you can. The best thing to remember is Thailand is such a beautiful, amazing, safe, affordable place to live. And as things are slowly going a bit AWOL back in the West, places like Thailand are becoming more appealing, but Thailand knows this, and so visa rules and just other little things that you have to consider start to become more important here. It used to be quite easy just to move here and figure things out, but they're getting stricter here, as they should, and that's one of the reasons why Thailand is remaining so safe and remaining so great, is because they understand its appeal. And you know, if you do want to move here, there is now a price to pay and rules to go and follow, as it should be. But yeah, just be aware that in the future it's only going to get more strict and probably more expensive in terms of long-term visas and things like that. But anyway, make sure if you're coming to Thailand, even on a general holiday as a digital nomad, you're moving around, or maybe you're going to come here for 3 to 6 months, check out Safety Wing. They have other plans for more casual travelers who are just looking for a few months of insurance. I've been using Safety Wing for a long time now, many years. I think 4 years I've been using them, and they're fantastic. And thanks to Safety Wing for sponsoring the video, and let me know if you're coming into Thailand, and maybe we'll go grab a beer in Bangkok.